let me introduce everyone to the MDC chairman or Market Development Committee chairman, Chika Nakamura. Chika, can you kind of introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Chika Nakamura. I'm the head of commercial at ABN AMRO Clearing Japan, and I'm a chair of MDC. MDC was formed around 2017 to discuss anything to develop and improve Japan financial market. And from this year, MDC has two subcommittees. One is the commodity committees, and the other one is Japan Principal Trading Group. It is called JPTG. And the majority of members of MDC is overlapped with the JPTG, who are the market makers or liquidity providers and brokers in Japan. Having said that, MDC is open for anyone who is interested in participating in the discussions. Yes, we are open for any topics as well.
Okay. So I think one of the things you've been working on was ETFs. Anything going on there?
Yes, and ETF is a quite important product in Japan at this moment. And for MDC, it was quite first time to discuss. We're focusing to discuss ETFs. TSE has a quite large number of ETF products, and it is quite active. Retail investors and market makers are trading on TSE, and it is also traded on PTG called Chi-X and SBI. It's a quite active market in Japan, but the process itself was quite manual before, and the basic information was difficult to obtain, especially for overseas. In English, the people who are trading from overseas was quite difficult to understand what's going on.
So challenges were faced by the market makers to participate in ETFs.
Correct, yes. Yep.
Okay, so what challenges did they face and what did MDC do about it?
Yeah, the challenge is the making the smaller of a gap between overseas market and Japan to understand how the market in Japan is operating. Like I said, the basic information like blackout calendars, minimum size of ETF creation redemption, the cutoff time, those information quite difficult to obtain in English in public websites. And also the form of application was different by ETF and depending on the asset managers. And so it was quite manual work, and it was quite a lot of process. And those things that need to be understood by the market makers because it was not quite efficient. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are the challenges we had to face.
Okay. So I guess there's some data issues, I guess. Is that the main understanding of the data between how it's being done in outside of Japan versus inside of Japan? Would you say that's the primary problems?
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Okay. And anything around the redemption and the creation and redemption process? Was that another aspect of it?
Yes, that's correct. And, you know, JCC, Exchange and JCC, they were aware of the issues. 2018, we had the roundtable between market makers, asset managers, and TSE. And market makers listed up all the topics they wanted to improve in Japan market. And, you know, basic information about blackout calendars, minimum unit size, and the format of applications were one of the topics. And also, it was about the time for TSE to launch a new market making scheme for ETFs. And the beginning of the ETF market making scheme, it was quite unreasonable for market makers because there were so many names that, especially illiquid names to quote. and it was quite large size for creation redemption compared to the price. And these things discussed and gradually improved. For example, JSCC launched the netting service for in-kind from this year. ETF process was uniformed by JSCC portal last year. And this quite improved. I think it was a good outcome from the roundtable as well.
So the FIAJ's roundtable really assisted the market in making things better. And I guess FIA should thank the cooperation we got from JPX as well as JSCC in making this all happen.
Yeah, I think it was one of the reasons, and it was a good opportunity for all of them to be on the same side and get to know each other. And we kept communication even after the roundtable. That helped quite a lot to understand each other.
Okay. Was there any other issues that kind of prevented the market to work efficiently?
Yes. JSCC started this netting service, but that is including that's applicable for in-kind only at this moment. But JPTG and MDC altogether, we're requesting JSCC to include a cash ETF going forward. That would help Japan market to improve quite significant. The reason is that failure risk will be reduced, and the counterparty will be reduced, and also the capital efficiency will increase significantly.
Okay. Is Bank of Japan involved in this in any way?
Yes, Bank of Japan is involved in the lending side. In the roundtable back then, lending was one of the issues we discussed. And, illiquid names, it is quite difficult to borrow. And for market makers, short sell is necessary action. And the borrow resources was limited, and BOJ started lending, lending out of their portfolio, and that would help in the market as well.
Okay, so everything you talk about, ETF sounds all cash equities and lending sounds cash equities. Why is FIJ involved in this?
Actually, yeah, ETF is not only stocks ETFs. The underlined futures ETFs are listed. Okay. And market makers for options and derivatives are making in-kind and cash ETFs. So it is all connected, and it was quite natural movement for us to get involved in the ETF.
Okay, so that makes sense. So beyond this, we talked quite a bit about ETFs. What's your plans in the future for MDC? I mean, what other topics do you think we should be working on?
The topics we should be talking on is anything to improve Japan market. And I was personally interested in the Tokyo to be a financial center in APAC. And there is a committee to discuss this topic. So we want to involve in these topics as well. And also, commodity committees will be talking about electricity futures. And if you are interested in the topic as well. So we want to be proactively involved in the topics that the other committees are discussed to help them going forward.
Sounds great. Thank you very much. Let's open this up to Q&A and see if there's any questions. And I know Chika's going to be joining us live for the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you.